John Oaks here with Hankster's Hot Rods here at our Homer City, Pennsylvania showroom today. And today we're going to be going over our newest addition to our inventory, a 1971 Chevrolet Nova SS. Yes, it is a real SS. A couple other things real quick we're going to go over here just to get them right off the top of the bat here. And that is going to be, it is a numbers match motor. And it is the correct exterior color, which is cranberry red, and it's got all the correct interior in it as well. So again, there you have those little bits of information there as we go ahead and start on our little walk around here. So as far as the car goes, as far as all the metal and all the trim, all the bumpers, everything, this car is in incredible condition. It really is. You can see it's got the 350 badges on the front fender along with the Nova script emblems here also. It does have the SS hood, of course, with those the scoops, or the vents I should say, on the top side of the hood. Now when you look at the side profile of the car here, you're going to notice it's got the all chrome steel factory aluminum rally wheels here. Now those will not have your trim rings because they're all chrome, but they do have your center caps are on there to complete everything there. Now obviously you can see on our Nova here we do not have any wheel lip moldings. It's void of those, but again it gives it a nice clean look here down the sides of the car. As we come back a little further, you're going to notice it's got chrome mirrors. These are going to be found on both sides, driver and passenger side. They've got the bow tie emblem on the back side here of the mirror. The glass and the chrome facing on this is all in good shape. As far as our glass goes, you can see it's a slightly tinted glass here on the sides. Vent windows are functional. All your other windows roll up and down just fine. No chips, no scratches whatsoever. Of course, your trim around the windows all painted the same color as the rest of the car, that cranberry red. Now the drip rail moldings, of course, those are done in the bright work here. Nice and straight, polished up really well. And as we run our finger through that rain gutter, everything there is smooth. There's no bumps, no chips in the paint, nothing. All nice, smooth, shiny paint. Door gaps, you can see those to the front side and the back side of the door. Those are very uniform. Elevations all in line with the door, the fender, and the quarter panel. And your door handles themselves, the chrome finish on them, really nice. No pitting at all on those. We'll open our door up and take a look at that interior. So again, as I mentioned, it is the correct interior. It's the all black vinyl interior, complete with the bench seat up front, the headrest there also on the front seats. You'll see the factory dash and instrumentation has the 120-mile-an-hour speedo and fuel gauge. It also has a 3-gauge cluster right below the dash there. That's going to include your oil pressure, water temperature, and voltmeter or battery gauge. It does have the factory heater controls in it and the factory AM radio. Has also a Hurst 4-speed shifter there on the floor, and that's going to go hand in hand with that Muncie M22 transmission there for it also. Carpeting's in great shape, upholstery's in great shape, all of your seals and weather stripping around your doors and such, that is all in great shape too. And again, this car is going to seal up really good from the outside elements. We'll go ahead and close this up, but we will take a look as we get to the other side. Door shuts nice and easy also. Again, does not stick out at all. It's all adjusted very nice. Again, the quarter panels on the car, nice and straight. Paint smooth and shiny. No additional badging or emblems back here. Nice clean look. As we come back to the rear of the car, obviously you're going to see the chrome bumper here. Looks in good condition. Of course, your tail panel with the SS badging here right in the center. Your tail lights, the lenses, those are in good shape. No chips or cracks in those. The bezels around here in great shape too. Of course, again, you've got your Nova badging here on your trunk lid. You can look at your gaps on your trunk lid all the way around. Everything is adjusted very nice. All your elevations with your quarters are really good too. As far as the rear glass goes, nice piece of glass here. It is all tinted also to match with the side windows. And of course, all your bright work and trim all in great condition. So let's go ahead and open that trunk and see what the trunk floor and such all look like. So as we open it up, first off, the key does work in the lock. Latches and everything work. Hinges and spring all work. As you can see, it's holding its own self up there. The underside of the trunk lid painted the same color as the exterior of the car. Inside the trunk here, well, you can see this thing is just in excellent condition. There's no patching whatsoever. All of your drain plugs are in there installed. It's all solid floor here. You do have a spare tire here and the hold down and everything in there as well. Your trunk weather stripping and seals here, all again in great shape. They look fairly new as a matter of fact. So again, everything back here gonna seal up just as well as those doors do from the outside elements. We'll close it, shuts nice and easy, and then we'll continue around to the passenger side. Now over here, again, just more of the same stuff. You're just going to see the condition of everything. We've already touched on the wheels. As far as the tires go, these are all the same size tires, all four of them. 215, I want to say 215/70, I think, are 14s. And again, you can see that these are XR6000 radial GTs. Now they are the same front and back. Nice tread pattern on these things. They seem to be wearing very nicely here, and again, they're a real quiet tire too on the road there. All perform very well. As far as your passenger side glass, again tinted. You can see no cracks, no chips in any of the glass. Vent window all looks good. All of your bright trim around all the windows that there is, that is all in great shape too. The matching mirror for the other side. And again, your drip rail moldings here in great shape. You can see the gaps now on your passenger side door here. There's the back and there's the front gaps. Again, very uniform, and elevations are dead on with your fenders and your quarter panels. Same thing with the finish on your door handle here. No pitting on the door handles. As we look inside, again, just kind of seeing it just from the opposite side. Again, you're going to notice that there's no cracks or tears in any of the upholstery. It's all in great condition. No tears or fading in any of the carpeting. The dash pad itself, there's no cracks in any of that. This whole car, interior-wise, exterior-wise, all in really good condition. And you notice it does have all of the seat belts present, front and rear seats. Again, that door shuts easily too. Matching emblems and badging here on the passenger side fender, and then that'll bring us around to the front of the car. Now again, we've got the chrome front bumper here. You've got your bright work along the leading edge here of the hood. Of course, you've got your Nova grille here with the SS badging right in the center. Your headlights, again, just your seal beam units here. Glass lenses, no cracks or chips in those. Lenses for your marker lights down here or your parking lights. Those are in good condition too, with no chips or cracks in those. As far as the hood goes, again, this is your SS hood. You can see all of your gaps on the hood. All hood fitment is very nice on this car too. Got your louvers up here on the hood. Those are in good shape. Front windshield, no chips or cracks there either. Nice set of classic style wipers. And then of course your trim or your molding all the way around the window in very good condition. We'll open up our hood now, and then we'll talk about what we've got underneath here. So as we started the video off with, this is the original numbers match 350 cubic inch small block Chevrolet engine. Now you can see the underside of the hood here is done in black. All of your hood insulation is in place just as it should be. Fender wells inside here, as well as your firewall, all blacked out as that should be also. Now as far as the engine goes, it's going to look pretty much stock, and for the most part it all is. You can see the factory style air cleaner there with the correct labels on it there for the stickers. As far as your ignition goes on the car, that's going to be stock ignition as well, with your distributor and your external coil. It does have a 4-barrel carburetor on it with the stock cast intake on it. That's all painted orange along with the painted orange valve covers. It is a power steering car, power brakes, disc up front, drums on the back along with the emergency brake all hooked up. You can see it's got the stock cast exhaust manifolds. Those do empty into a full dual exhaust with dual Flowmaster mufflers there. Again, car sounds very good. You can see the stock style radiator there with the fan shroud on it and a 4-blade steel fan there to help cool everything down. Again, small block Chevy motors, especially when their numbers matching, it's a nice thing to have in a car. The car runs great, would need nothing. However, again, if you're one of those guys that want to, add some performance upgrades to it, small block Chevy is a good foundation to do that. As to how much you want to do with a numbers match motor, well, that's up to you, and we'll leave that up to you. All right, so we are underneath our 1971 Chevrolet Nova SS. So we're going to go through this as we do all our cars, going through all the steering, suspension, drive line, frame floors, everything underneath the car here that we can see and tell you about. We're going to go through and do that right now. So starting at the front of this car, again, 71 Nova SS. It's got all the stock suspension components, all of your stamped steel components, your upper and lower control arms on this car. Those are all in great shape. Springs, shocks, everything like that, all in really good condition. Even your ball joints, you can tell how nice and new those pretty much are. You can tell everything's been greased and maintained on a regular basis underneath this car, because everything looks great. All of your ball joints on your control arms as well as your tie rods, they all have those little rubber dust boot covers on to keep dirt and debris out and keep all of that grease inside, so it keeps everything lubricated. And of course, on the front end of this, being that it's an SS, it does have the sway bar in the front. Your frame bushings are in great shape. Same thing out at the sway bar end links. Those are all in good condition. Now, as far as steering goes in this car, it is a power steering car. It is also a power brake car, which this vehicle has disc brake front, drum brakes out on the rear, along with the emergency brake, and that is all hooked up, and we'll show you that here in just a little bit. As far as wheels and tires, then we'll work our way out to the ends here. So we've got all 14-inch wheels on this car. Now, these are the chrome steel rally wheels for this car, so you're not going to have the trim rings on it. It's all chrome, but you do have the center caps, and these wheels are in great condition on this car. Now, if we slide in just a little bit to the drive line here, we'll talk about the engine, transmission, and rear end. This does have the original numbers matching motor. This is a 350 cubic inch Chevrolet motor. It's going to give you lots of power for this car. Again, the Novas weren't that big of a vehicle. Plus, if you want to upgrade, obviously your small block Chevy is a great platform to do that with. Now, behind this motor, we've got a Muncie M22 transmission. This is the transmission that they called the Rock Crusher. This thing, it's going to make a little bit of noise. That's just a characteristic of it. That's why they called it the Rock Crusher, but because it's got straight cut gears instead of angle cut teeth on them. But again, everything is normal on that. It's a 4-speed manual. It's got the aluminum bell housing and the flywheel cover on the front here to keep any dirt and debris away from that flywheel. As far as looking at the oil pan on the motor, anything on the transmission, of course you don't have a transmission pan per se, but you can look at the seals at the output shaft and so forth and tell that everything is nice and dry on this car. Of course, your drive shaft, it's going to be a balanced unit, and then your rear end assembly, this is going to be a GM 12-bolt rear end. It does have the POSI unit in it, and it's a 373 gear, so a good all-around gear for not only cruising, but you're also going to have the performance there too when you step on the gas. As far as the rear suspension goes, it's a multi-leaf rear suspension, regular shocks on the back there, just like a regular traditional gas charged shock. As far as the exhaust system here, you can see it's full dual exhaust, starting up at the stock exhaust manifolds, coming back into these dual Flowmaster mufflers, and then of course it's got tailpipes up over top of that rear end housing, and then those exit right between the leaf springs and the quarter panels. Fuel tank in this car is in good shape too, and again, all the mounting hardware, your straps and bolts and everything, those are in good shape. course, as we've been walking back and forth here now, you've been able to see kind of the frame, the floors and so forth, all your bracing and such. The subframe on this car is in great shape, nice and straight, good and square the whole way from underneath the front seats to the front of the car. Your floors, you can see those are in really good shape. Now again, these cars are old. I'm not saying that they don't have replacement panels, which this one you can tell has had some floors put in it, but they were done correctly with the correct metal. You see all of your stamping lines and everything. All of the bracing is here complete, and everything has been seam sealed as it should be. All of your brake lines and fuel lines are run right along the underside of the frame, right next to your pinch welds, which by the way are nice and straight the whole way back the sides. The rocker panels are good and solid on this car too. And as I mentioned, the emergency brake. It is all hooked up here to all of your cables, front cable, intermediate, your J hook here on the frame, then of course your cables back to the rear drums. So that's pretty much it.